All right, so good to be with you guys. Hey, got Justin Udy in the house. Here he is. And he walked into my office this morning saying, hey, are we doing this? But I said, man, you got to get on a little Zoom call so we can see your bright and shining face up close and personal. So
Yeah, dude, you kicked me
thrilled to
out.
have you with us, brother.
Hey, you kicked me out, man.
I know. Well, I'm fine with you being in here, but I know that everyone appreciates being able to see the whites of your eyes up close and personal. So
Right.
that's right. There we go. Well, dude, hey, we're excited to have you on board. Thank you for being here. You know what? You were the first interview that we did live on a Zoom call when the outbreak of really where social distancing and the all the stuff that has come from the coronavirus started. I'd have to look at the date, but I know it's over 60 days ago.
Yeah.
It may be even closer to 2.5 months ago, and maybe coming up here on 90 days. But tell us how you're doing. Tell us your journey. Just let's start there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear like what have you learned over the last 80, 90 days with the coronavirus, dealing with your team, dealing with the market, dealing with the public. How have you been getting along?
No, it's been really good. I mean, I will tell you, I think one of the biggest things I've learned, there was a favorite book that I think I read probably 10 years ago. It's a book called The Slight Edge by a guy named Jeff Olson. Now, I believe Jeff Olson actually was who kind of got Darren Hardy. He influenced Darren Hardy when he wrote The Compound Effect. So it has that same principle of the compound effect, but it just has a couple different things. And it was just really amazing to me during the time that we're speaking. And it wasn't as if it was, I don't want to say I was scared. I think we just didn't know what was going on. And so we just were like taking it kind of brick by brick, right? Day by day. Like,
oh yeah.
We're going to do what we can do today. And we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, but whatever happens, we'll figure it out. And there was so many people, whether it be, and it's just people in life, contractors, real estate agents, appraisers, different people that just took a step back and they said, let's see how life happens versus trying to make life happen for themselves. And I just feel like that whole compound effect of us just working, making more contacts, connecting with people. Now we're just seeing these unbelievable results. There was a lady that I personally talked to that was like, we're so scared. We don't want to do anything. Let's wait 6 months. And I will tell you, due to the mindset of thinking, and I remember when we spoke about this, I said, I want to just tell you something. There's 100% chance you will not sell if we're not on the market. And that one statement is what kind of triggered this whole thing. And she wasn't responding to calls, emails. I mean, it was probably statistically on the 13th contact. And sure enough, $950,000 listing, full price offer within 3 days. They wanted to close quickly within 2 weeks, did a 2-week lease back. I mean, it was an unbelievable sell that only honestly would have happened, one, because of the discipline of following up, having the skill set and the mindset of just like, we're doing things and like, let us help you. And I think those little things made a difference. And we've just seen so much. So I remember an agent called and was like, hey, I'm back in the office. I'm ready to start going. How are things going for you? And I'm like, dude, it's been like 6 weeks. Like, what have you been doing? It's like, no, I'm getting going. And I remember that same week we took 7 listings.
Yeah.
And it was the 7 listings were because of the 6 weeks of work. It led to that moment, right? And so I don't know. I think what I've learned is, and it's a really good, I think, and again, good for me, because I'm just saying I'm just part of learning the whole process is that, everything is not about rushing and getting things done quickly. It is truly brick by brick, line by line, just discipline, doing that 80-20 rule, spending 80% of your time prospecting and reaching out to people and creating customers, and that 20% trying to keep them, right? 80% of your time, reach them out, 20%
I like
of your
that
time,
way
trying to
you're
keep
saying that. I like that, but just trying to keep them. I usually say administratively, but actually I love the fact of trying to keep them as customers, which is really what all that's about, is administrating and moving through the customer service standpoint. So I love that. So talk, just, one thing is I believe almost everybody knows who you are. I mean, you're a legend, right? At least in your own mind, right?
My kids
Right.
do.
And your kids think you are, right? Right. So just a little bit. So who's Justin Udy, which I always like to ask everybody. So you're a dad, of course. How many children do you have?
Yep, 2 kids. So I have a little girl that's 12, a little boy that's 9. Live here, Salt Lake City. Always lived here. I was a super dumb kid. I had like a resource. Like I couldn't even write. Kids made fun of me. Girls made fun of me. So I spent hours and hours writing. So if you see my writing now, it's actually like pretty nice and legible. But it's just like I feel like everything. I'm like the biggest dummy you'll ever meet. Honestly, I've just been like, I've got to work on things a little bit better, a little bit harder. Me getting through college was like, like I just realized I had to study twice the amount of time,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so I guess all I'm saying is,
hey, we're smart enough to figure that part out. I wasn't even smart enough I wasn't even smart enough to figure that out.
The thing is, you would have. I'm so dumb. I didn't quit. I didn't look at the other side of the better things I could have done. So,
So, and then tell us, you've been,
yeah.
and how long have you been in the business?
Yeah, I've been in the business 15 years. I mean, the best year I had is where I did personally 97 sales and the team did 151 that year. The best the team has done is 207 sales. And
currently, how many deals do you have under contract? How many active listings approximately?
So we have our team meeting that we're going to go through numbers, but I will tell you right now, we have about 24 under contract. As far as listing inventory, due to the activity right now, has been literally like yesterday we received, I think, like 6 different offers, right? So very busy on that side. I have been trying to step out and really away from the production side so I can help lead the team. I'll just be 100% honest. Through this whole thing, I have been sucked back in to just like,
sure, of course.
And I like that, right? Like I enjoy the business, but I just feel like we do have to know what our job is, right? And I think that if we know that our job every single day is to reach out to people, prospect, lead follow-up, attend appointments, and really just make sure that we're negotiating deals like 80% of our time, then life will be good. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And we typically just don't get distracted, or I would say let people distract us, because I think that's 90% of it. People distract us as opposed to distractions.
Sure.
Yeah. So
what advice would you give to an agent right now? I mean, we've talked a little bit about what you've learned, which I want to hear a little more about that over this process. But what advice would you give to an agent right now? I mean, here we are 90 days into this, obviously lots of other challenges, things that I think everyone's been very openly denouncing, and the challenges of racism and discrimination, and really, looking around and looking at what opportunities are we giving to individuals, what are we doing to still create inequality in this nation. And I mean, lots of fuel, lots of emotion, lots of challenges that are going on. Obviously the COVID going on, political things going on, presidential races going on in Utah, governor races going on. So what would you advise someone today in the game of real estate, whether it's whether it's Utah or California?
So number one, I would say you got to follow what I've been following since 2009.
Oh my gosh, that's timeless. That's classic, man.
This is a 2009 George Morris.
That was my first seminar, man.
Look at these notes.
Look at all those notes.
I mean, I was listening. I mean, this has become gospel. This is Bible number 2, everybody.
There you go. There you go.
So if you're not listening to George every morning, number 1, right? Recommendation. No, you got to get your mindset. Your morning has to be perfect, right? I will say the number 1 thing is you have to be perfect. This morning, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not just like crazy in the morning, but I mean, I was up at 5:45. I mean, I ran 3 miles, and I do like pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. I did it outside so that I could just I feel good. So I feel physically, mentally awake. I feel good. I have a number of things on my list to do. And honestly, I think I'm going to get everything done by 11 o'clock, right? When I'm done by 11 o'clock, it just gives me so much mental white space to be able to create or expand or just, you know what I mean? Move the needle forward in your business. So I think that's number one rule. Move the needle forward in your business every day.
So hold on, 11 o'clock. I want to wait. There's a ton in there. So wake up. You're obviously you're saying, hey, hit some exercise. Let's get the body moving.
Yep.
And then what's happening? What else is happening before 11 o'clock? Give us a little more detail.
No, that's great. So obviously I've already got kind of my motivation in the morning, right? I've already kind of listened to my podcast, read some things that essentially are going to just, again, for me, like just again, sometimes it's things that I just feel like those are personal, quiet moments to figure out what you want. It could be you're listening to music and calming your mind. It could be you're just wanting some motivation. I mean, it could be you're listening to death metal and it's like pumping you up. I don't know what it is.
Right. Sure. I get it. but you're going to shape the mindset, shape the head, shape the mind.
And you are going to get in front of people. This business is a people business, whether it be prospecting, networking, contacting. Email, text is not reaching people, right? It is hearing their voice, hearing the tonality, doing a meeting like this. We have to be in front of people. A minimum of 20 a day, likely is 30, what you have to do in any market to truly be, to reach the goals you likely have in our organization, right? I will tell you, we have to be brilliant on the basics. We have to focus and do the best we can on the basics. I think that's everything from prospecting to establishing rapport, closing the sale, following up, and making sure that we're really, the biggest thing I think we run into right now is answering objections, because you have this 50-50 mentality of like, what should I say and how should I say it? And just having the mentality of this is the, and I don't want to say I'm trying to convince somebody, this is your absolute best time to purchase something because interest rates are low. We don't know what the market will do in the future. And truth be told is, if rates go up and the market goes down, it's a wash anyway. So you might as well own a home. You might as well get the tax benefits. And anyone that has ever built wealth long-term never did it in the short term. They did it in the long term. So let's get you on the wealth building machine. And as soon as you get this one, let's get you another one. And then let's start helping you build cash flow, not only for you, but for your family. And it's just giving them a path, right? A path of success. And so I would just say, if people are, to answer your question, what should they be doing? Get up in the morning, make sure you're getting your mind ready, do your scripts, do your prospecting, do your follow-ups. And then if you're going to use social media, use it as a tool. Do not use it as a pastime. I will tell you, for years.
Ooh, that's powerful right there. I hope everyone heard that. That's a gold nugget right there. Not as a pastime, as a tool.
I did my social media stuff at like 11 o'clock at night when kids went to bed. That's when I did mine, because if I did it during the day, it's just, it sucks you in too much, right? Or literally put up a timer, like a timer on your phone, because it's too easy. And again, I don't know what it is. It's like social media cocaine or something, because it, like, next thing you know, like, you just don't know what's going on. And 20, 30, 40 minutes have passed. You're like, whoa, dude, what a waste, you know?
Right.
Anyway, I just think that reaching out and getting, and then the other thing I would say is getting resells, getting referrals, really focusing your scripts, everything from when you're prospecting that you're going to be looking for referrals, to in that first meeting that you're looking for referrals, during the transaction you're looking for referrals, and at the close of the sale you're looking for referrals. I think that's one thing that we miss. Right now, I've been super excited because on our, even like if you go to Google and like type in my name, we have over 140 5-star Google reviews, and it's only because we asked for them. And I will tell you, people that find us online now are calling because they see these reviews, and then we have to obviously answer the phone super quickly. We have to answer it super friendly. They have to believe in us. They have to believe in our company. You know, they have to feel good about us. But creating those reviews was a process, but making sure the back-end system is set up, meaning the scripts, the dialogues, how you're going to speak with people, building rapport is, again, be brilliant on the basics. I think that's
I love that. That's a great statement. Let me ask you this. How just share with us, how are you getting those referrals? So give us an example. I'm a client. during the process. Maybe I have a listing, maybe I put the deal's gone under contract, maybe I'm at the closing. Give us a few examples of how you would take on that idea of getting a referral.
Yep. So meeting at the first appointment, right? Let's say we're first at face-to-face. You're going through essentially your game plan of what you're going to provide to them, whether it be services rendered or, buying, selling, whatever. And you say, hey, look, I really appreciate you working with me. Just so you know, like when I do an amazing job for you, one thing that I'm going to request is if you have any friends or family that you'll not only think of me, just curious, do you have anybody else that you know right now that is looking at buying or selling that I can assist?
Oh, that's great.
Right? So asking them, no, I don't know anybody. If you do know somebody, would you send them my way? Well, yeah, for sure. Okay, great. Going to the due diligence. Hey, it looks like we've gone through the due diligence, whatever. Property looks great. Hey, just curious. I know that there's some different people I want to refer to you so that you can make sure you get the help you need, whether it be for repairs or actually getting whatever. Just curious. Is there anyone else on your side that you can maybe refer to me that I should be helping you with, right? Whether it's buying or selling in real estate. So again, I'm going to give you a referral. Why don't you give me a referral, right? We get to the closing of the sale. Hey, we're so excited we're closing the sale, whether buy or sell the property. Thanks again. We want to make sure that we always are providing a white glove service to you. Is there anything during this transaction that you felt could have been better to create a truly optimal and world-class service experience that we maybe missed? We could have done this, and this. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That helps me. And just, we're going to talk about that in the team meeting. I'm taking notes, right? Or the team member.
This is really good.
Yeah, we're going to speak about this because this is something that we're really dedicated to doing that. Just curious, other than that, is there anything else we could have done better to make this an amazing experience? No, it was great. Do you feel like this is an experience that that others would be able to enjoy if we implemented those items? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Is there anyone right now that you can think of that you could refer, either buying or selling, that we could assist now and provide that type of service to them? Yeah, whatever. And then again, now it's putting them in a system to follow up with them. So I think that we should be doing print marketing, at least, even if it's just a letter that you write and you just make your list. Make your list of every person you've worked with, right? Make that list and you're sending them something by mail at least every quarter. Making sure you're doing either educational videos or something that you're able to post and you're able to bring them into your world. And you don't have to have a bunch of these expensive events, right, until you're ready. It's just staying in front of them. Having your quarterly.
Well, goodness, Justin, there's the, even though I know the COVID's been going on, but we've had the Easter egg hunt, the pumpkin patch. It's already being done for them from a company standpoint, right? And then of course, because of the size of your sphere and everything, obviously you can take on those and you can do those for yourself, or you go to Wheeler Farm and do different things you've done in the past, or the pies, and have client events. How many client events per year?
I like to do 3 client events, but I did 2 for years, right? I never even did a client events, folks. I think I started them 3 years ago. Been in the business 15 years.
So let's get real specific. How many times would you mail per year? Or sorry, mail per quarter, per month? Is it a monthly mailing?
So I do a quarterly newsletter per quarter, right?
Okay.
I will tell you now, I want to mail them every other month now, right? So 6 times. The reason why is a lot of more people are at home. And if I could get away with maybe a postcard and letter, a postcard and letter, postcard and letter, just for a market update, right?
Of course.
Hey, and that's the whole thing is people are just looking for direction. They're looking to know what's happening. They want to know who's doing what. And it don't get lost in the copy. And just like George said, I think we need to use leverage more. We need to leverage our company and what they have. We need to leverage other people that are maybe better at it. You can go on like Fiverr and you can get somebody to design a postcard, or that'll be quick and easy. You can use our organization. I think we have some folks now, right, that do that. I think I saw an email actually about that. You can go to, and I apologize, it's because I'm
familiar. I'm not. Is Fiverr a program?
Fiverr, Upwork, all these people that have like these little people that they'll create something for $25 or something, right?
Okay.
You could get somebody on the phone and say, this is the message I want to give, blah, 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 blah. They put it in a copy and they send it out. So you're not spending 2 hours like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to write. I don't have very good English. Just leverage the abilities of other. Heck, you could probably give it to your significant other or your mom or your brother or somebody that's good at it and
Right.
say, hey, I want to make a good copy. I want it one page. I just want to sign the bottom of it. Help me out.
Well, to your point, and you're nailing it, and that is that I always say consistency always trumps the content. It's the consistency of them seeing Justin. It's the consistency of seeing you as an agent in the marketplace. So, okay, so every other month you're sending a mailing. How many emails per year would you say with either a market update, a campaign? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? What is it for
Monthly
you?
market update, right? Via email.
Okay.
Every other month, physical mail. I send 2 educational videos to our clients per month. They have the ability to opt out. Now again, folks, I use a company called Viral Marketing. They charge me $575 a month. You don't have to do that. You could use BombBomb, right? You could use a BombBomb video, do a quick video, send it out to the clients. You could, so don't think about, oh my gosh, I got to spend all this money. No. Like, we have everything we need right here.
Right.
And once you get, again, just remember, like, we have 1,400 people. So for me to send it, if I closed 10 people last year, I'm going to send 10 individual BombBomb videos to my 10 people. If I have 100, I can do on BombBomb to 100 people before I even have to, I think, upgrade, right?
Right.
I don't even
Right.
think you have to do it on BombBomb. I mean, you could just shoot it and be done.
Well, nowadays, you could just shoot the video and send it to your client, send it via text, send it via email, and have it be incredibly personalized. Okay. Talk to us about social media. How many posts are on your social media regarding real estate, and do you have a profile page?
Yep.
Or public figure
yep.
page, I should say.
Yep. So I had created a business page a while ago, but it's just because it was more of a team effort. And so it's kind of like, I'm the brand, we're the relationship, right? So that changed. But when I was doing my own personal stuff, just remember, you are a person. So I would make sure that for every business post, you're doing 3 or 4 other posts that have something to do with life in general, a slice of life.
Picture of a sunset, just anything, right?
Yep, that you're a person, right?
I've always said so basically what you're saying is a 3-to-1 ratio, basically 3 to 4 1 ratio, 3 personals, 1 business, 3 personal, 1 business.
Yep, something like that, right? And social media is a powerful tool, okay? I don't want you to think like, I have to cut out social media. Use it as a tool, not as a pastime. And then the other thing that I think that is important, when we're marketing, there's a guy named Dan Kennedy. He actually passed away. I read 1 million of his books. I shouldn't say 1 million of them. He has a number of books. And he talked about the 3 things in marketing. And he talked about marketing, media, and message, right? So what's the marketing that you're going to do? So pick it, right? Whether it be social media, direct mail, making prospecting phone calls, right? So what is the marketing I'm doing? What is the media that I want, that I have picked, right? Like what is the method of distributing it? I'm telling you, I think we get lost in thinking we're either going to do it ourselves or we're going to pay for it. So do it yourself and make it free. I never did any paid marketing or anything for first 10 years of the business. For 10 years, never did it. And I will tell you, like, that was, earning for me a personal income of over $500,000. Doing that is in my mind boggling when I think that, I worked at spaghetti factory while washing dishes. You know what I mean? So it's like, even talking about it is crazy. But then the third thing he talks about is what is your message? And I think we need to think about that. Like, am I the person that provides a full service experience? Am I the person that provides a world-class experience? Am I the networker that's going to connect you with all the other people so that you can have success? Am I the guy that gets it done quick, hassle-free? Am I the gal that can just make sure that I'm going to charge you 6%, but you're going to get, 10, 15% out of me? So just knowing what is your soundbite of what is your unique advantage and making sure that that's incorporated into it, because we have 10,000 agents in our market right here locally, and people want to be led, but they will remember the person that had some sort of personality and built a rapport because they know who they are and they were able to build that into their conversation. So just remember, people that make a lasting impact or make an impression typically do it because they did something different. That's why we dress up every day, right? We want to make an impact. People judge us in a different way, the way we speak, the way we dress, and what we say. So let's just make sure that we're brilliant at the basics. We provide everything, so there's no reason for them not to pick us. And then we have something about us that provides them an ability to remember us and connect with us. Oh yeah, you're the guy that talked about whatever, right? That you know, whatever it is that I should be thinking about an investment property after I buy this property. Yeah, you know, or whatever it is. And there's you can folks there, I don't feel like there's any one thing, but I think there's something going beyond the basics, right?
It's great. I love it, man.
So I don't know.
The only things I've been saying recently has I added another ingredient to this, because right now, if you look at the three components of just even messaging in the marketplace today, number one is you've got to make sure that it's the correct message. Number two, it's the right tonality to the message, because the tone right now is very, very important. But the third is timing. It is unbelievable to me as to, you may have the right message, you may even have the right tone as to what you think it is, but your timing is horrible. Meaning that the timing of, you know, the debates that I'm seeing, even with our own agents in regards to on their social media, in regards to everything that's going out, we are in such a microscopic world today. We have to be very, very conscious of our timing, our messaging, and the tonality in which it's coming across.
Sure.
And being very, very sensitive to, and taking a step back and just looking around instead of creating these debates, these arguments, these fights that I'm seeing on social media, which are so wrong and inappropriate at so many different levels, and not the place where it's a place where we garner so much business. And the destruction I'm even seeing of agents and their mistimed, their miscue on the message, their tonality of the message, it's really hurting them economically.
No, I totally agree with you. And I was off because, and I said marketing, media, and message, and it's market. What's the market we're reaching to, right?
Oh,
And
there you go.
I just think that this is the thing. Like, this is so like. I haven't watched the news at all. Like, I turned it on last night for the first time in like 3 weeks, you know, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a weak mindset, right? But garbage in, garbage out, right? I eat unhealthy, I'm gonna feel unhealthy. I'm around negative people, I probably am gonna be negative. I watch news that influences me and makes me feel like the Chicken Little, that the sky is falling, and guess what? The sky is falling. And I cannot believe just how much a mindset can affect your life, your business, your relationships, and just even skill sets. Gets into skill sets and discipline. Because if the sky's falling, why would you just do the discipline to do the things you have to do? And why would you build in your skill sets? Because the world's ending, right? So
such a great point. Well, and Justin, to that point, which is spot on, is I was thinking, I often, years ago, I used to just pull up my social media, my YouTube in the morning, and I'd want to listen to something very, very, compelling, powerful, something that moved me in a positive way. And I'm not saying I never do this today still, but what I found is I was even thinking about this morning. I'm right in the middle of reading the 4 Agreements. And I've read it many times before, but boy, the timing of that is impeccable right now. But as I was turning it on, I thought to myself, man, I'm so glad I'm choosing what I'm going to listen to, what I'm going to watch, versus either turning on the media, turning on my YouTube, even though I'm going to look, and letting literally AI, choose what I'm going to listen to this morning, instead of really consciously, like I wrote down the slide edge. I hope people have written down the 4 Agreements. I hope that people will take charge of their life and say, man, I'm going to control the things I can, because there's no question. There's so much we can't control. Yeah. So if you can control the things you can, I think it's the great epidemic of humanity, is focusing on everything you can't control, and then giving yourself excuse to not control the things you can.
And I think it's just so important in any business, right? And anything we do in our life, is that we are the person that figures out a way. We figure out a way, and we are, and I apologize, the words leaving me, but it's like, we have the ability to connect with things. It's funny, my little boy's bike got stolen like a night or two ago or something. And he was, and this kid rides his bike every single day. We bought it about a month ago. And it's like this specialized red bike. He loved it. Anyway, got stolen. And he's like, why would anybody do this?
Yeah.
And, poor little kid. And I'm like, you know what, bud? I was like, you know how you feel right now? I go, that's why you'll never steal, ever, because this is how it feels. But this is what I told him. I was like, do you think that do you want to get another bike? Yeah. Every bike sold out everywhere based on everything that's going on.
Right.
15 shops. I called 15 shops and I found one. Right.
Cool.
And all I'm saying is it's just funny because, and literally going on KSL, people had them like looking for this exact bike. Like I had no idea. Like it was like this coveted bike because he loved it because it fits well, it rides well, whatever. And it was funny because I was sitting there talking to him and I was like, if you pursue it, you can accomplish it. Right. But most people would have given up after the first 1 or 2 or 3 calls, because those 3 calls, they reached out to 3 or 4 stores, right, that they had. So those 15 calls was truly talking to more like 50 stores. And I just think that it's the same in our business, because when we network with that one person and we're connecting with them, and maybe they're not ready, but they're building other referrals. I have a guy I never did a deal with. He had a referral to me, and I've just stayed in contact with him. And now he has 5. He's like, my dad passed away. He's like, he has 5 properties. Can you help me out in selling them? He wasn't even ever my contact, ever. It was the other person. You know what I mean? And it's just because I had a good conversation with him. I talked to him. So I think another thing is that discipline of just being resourceful and making sure when you get a contact and have a good conversation, add them to your pipeline, add them to your building block. Don't throw away people because they're not going to transact in 30 days. I do not believe in that. But I do believe we only work with highly motivated people, but the other people, we build our database, save their email addresses, save their phone number, and then connect with them because they may be ready in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. My very first contact I ever made in real estate, he called me and he's like, hey, I have my 8-plex. I'm ready to sell it. Are you ready to go? I mean, a $1.3 million sell, only because over the last 15 years, I've stayed in contact with him, and you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just go to.
And basically you're going to earn on average an entire annual income in the US in a single given year because in that one deal, because you kept track of him for the last 10 or 15 years. Right.
Yeah. And literally, I haven't even talked to the guy. Folks, this is me saying I need to be better. I need to improve. I haven't talked to him. I haven't called him. Nothing. But he sees my emails, he sees my videos, he receives my postcards, he gets my newsletters, he gets my market updates. Like he feels I'm talking to him.
How much of your business, Justin? Oh my gosh, time is up.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no,
big
sorry.
Mouth.
This is
big
great.
mouth,
I love it.
I'm a big mouth.
Hey, so very quickly, how much of your business today would you say? Like we were talking to Brian Burnett, right? One of the top agents. You guys are always back and forth at the top of the game, at least on the Utah side. How much business would you say is coming from your sphere of influence today?
What's Brian Burnett doing? How many?
60% is what he said on his interview maybe a month ago.
So I think I'm 61. Just kidding. Well, I will tell you, mine's a little different. I mean, and his business is such a great business, and I think the way he's built it is amazing. Ours is closer to kind of basically a third of our business, so it'll run between 30. The highest we had it was 40%. The lowest we had it was 30%.
But that's awesome.
And it was 100% me. It was higher to the more 50, 60. No, it was probably more 50. It was never high as 60, because I remember when I would track it, 50% of my business was me cold calling, 50% was repeat and referral. I mean, almost consistently. And I will tell you where I failed, and that's why I'm telling everybody this, you need more leverage. I thought I had to do it all myself. Like I thought there was pride in that and busting my face and doing all the work and making sure it was perfect. And I could have hired somebody that would have been so grateful to work for 2 hours a week at $12 or $15 an hour to write postcards, write thank you notes, produce media, do things that would have taken that 10 hours, where that 10 hours would have produced me an extra 1 to 2 people a month that I would have been able into my database, and I would have been in a lot better shape than I am now. So just getting expertise, right? From other
So,
people.
so to that point, so the number one thing, I mean, look, would you not, at least I think you would agree, I think we're on the same page here, that your number one thing that you can do, the number one asset that you'll build that allows you to buy all the properties you buy, to have a team, to step a little more out of the production, would it not be safe to say that the number one asset that you've had enough vision to see, enough patience to build, has been your sphere of influence?
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
say
if you never picked up another phone today, would business still come your direction?
yes. In
Isn't
fact,
that awesome? I hope
it
everyone's
is.
hearing that. If you never picked up another phone today and all you were doing is answering calls and you continue to do a little social media, a few videos, a few emails, a few mailings, business is still going to come your
I was
direction,
going to
right?
say, you'd still have to feed the farm, right?
Right,
You
right,
still have to water the plants, right?
right,
So yes,
right.
your prospecting or your connecting is now different. Maybe you're not reaching new prospects and new people, but now you're digging deep on the people that you're
Well, dude,
existing clients.
and yes, and the average person knows 7 people who are going to buy or sell real estate every single year. Every person of those 1,400 people you have in your sphere, they will know 7 people who either buy or sell a piece of property this year. That's the magnitude of that list of 1,400 people. And I always ask people have a minimum of at least 300. You got 1,400, which means it's why you make a couple of $1 million a year. I mean, that's how it works. That's the deal. Okay, give us your closing thoughts. We got to wrap and do some affirmations. We're over time, but Dan, thank you so very, very
Oh,
much.
no, you're good. I just want to say this, like, sometimes it's overwhelming to think 1,400 people. Everybody I want you to think of this. Those 1,400 people were one person at a time. One person at a time. And my business is just as strong as me having 10 people in my sphere as 1,400. The difference is my 1,400 don't get enough of me, but if I had my 10, they would get all of me, right? So digging deep, loving on them, world-class service, be brilliant on the basics, 80% of our time really just creating customers, 20% of our time keeping them. And I just feel like that's a strong business. I feel like that's an integrity business, right? Of us doing this as a business, because I feel like our business is under attack. And I just feel like if we provide that type of service, people want to pay us. I had a guy that said, hey, what's the deal with this $7.95 fee, right? And I said, if our service and my service isn't up to par, I need to pay for that. And he's like, no, your service and quality. I said, the quality and service that you have, if it's not there, I'm going to pay for it. And he's like, no, it's been world class. So it's just
Awesome, dude.
people are willing to pay for value if we provide it to them.
Of course they are.
People will pay us a premium, right? And
right.
then
People will still go to Nordstrom's and people will still go to Walmart. Just depends on what you're looking for.
That's right.
All right,
That's
brother.
right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
right.
for being such a dear friend. Thank you for being such a great participant and contributor to so many different lives. And if you get a chance, make sure you read all the different messages up there in the chat box before you end. And we'll do some affirmations here. All right, guys, affirmations. Here we go.